Here's a question for you. Why do some salons keep guests for decades and others can't even keep them past the first visit? It's not price, it's not talent, and it's not location. It's systems, or more accurately, a lack of systems. And here's the scary part, you don't always see it happening in your own salon because you're used to it. But when a guest experiences it, they see it, they feel it, and they never forget it. And that's what this episode is all about. We've been visiting salons, calling salons, testing the guest experience. And what we saw, wow. Some of it was hilarious. Some things made us cringe, but all of it taught us the same thing. Strong systems create trust, and weak systems creates chaos.
Yeah. So buckle up because today we're sharing 5 stories that prove it. And I promise you're going to laugh because we've laughed too. You might even feel a little uncomfortable. And by the end, you'll be asking yourself, where in my salon am I relying on luck instead of systems?
Awesome. Okay, so let's kick it off with this first story. Um, you know, Gosh, it wasn't that long ago that Jen and I booked blowouts. We went to the same salon at the same time and we were thinking, gosh, this should be fun, right? Except I went back and Jen was just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And 30 minutes went by and nobody even spoke to her. They didn't come check in like, hey, we're running behind. It was literally just silence. And finally, the stylist came running in. She was literally out of breath. And what did she say, Jen?
She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had to run to Sam's to get all the supplies for the salon. No one even told me you were on my schedule." And I remember sitting there thinking, "What? Wait, you're buying supplies at Sam's in the middle of the workday when you're supposed to be doing hair." I was so confused.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly, but I think it then continued to get a little bit worse because they paired her with a co-stylist who right in front of you said, "I've never shampooed extensions before." Like,
Mhm.
now imagine being a brand new guest hearing that. It's like sitting in a dental chair and the assistant says, you know, I've never actually used a drill before, but here we go. Like, because that's really crazy when you think about it. Like Jen obviously has worked with brand new stylists, so it wasn't d- s- as scary as it would be to some, but still when you're paying for a service, that those are never the words that you want to hear or how you want to feel in that moment.
Yeah, and Lindsay, I remember that was exactly how I felt.
Mhm.
And we don't, we're not telling them we're stylists or salon. We're not telling them we're saloners. We're just really there to get pampered and to learn because it is a beautiful thing to test out other things. And I remember her asking me, "Do you want a Fusio dose treatment?" Well, I knew what that was, but I was thinking, man, if I wasn't a beauty professional or salon owner, I wouldn't even know what a Fusio is. But of course, I'm going to say yes because we do like to say yes to add-ons because that's the environment that we want to create. And then I'll never forget, she leaned over to her co-stylist and she was like, "We don't have the Fusios. Just go ahead and use one of those L'Oreal masks." And so if you think about it, like in our salon company, I was thinking, okay, well, our L'Oreal masks are going to be a lot less expensive than a
Mhm.
Fusio dose treatment. So right then and there, like it was a break of trust, that I was like, okay, this isn't going so good. And the best part was the blowout. By the end, um, you've seen that movie, I think it's There's Something About Mary where her bangs are sticking straight up. That's kind of what my bangs looked like. It was like little hair staining up everywhere, little baby hairs everywhere. I called it like a sprouting garden because it's basically what it looked like. And my spit wasn't weighing it down. There was no product in the world that could weigh it down. So it was definitely a different experience.
Yeah, and it's funny now, but in the moment, it was kind of painful,
Mm.
but here's the lesson. It wasn't about the service itself. It truly was the missing systems, because a check-in system would have told Jen what was happening. They would have said, "Hey, your stylist is, running behind, or she'll be with you shortly," or whatever that is. And a supply system would have kept the stylist out of Sam's during business hours. There would have been, "Hey, on Wednesday at 9 a.m., you go to Sam's, and you don't take guests then." And a treatment system would have made sure that Jen got the Fusio dose that she was offered, because then having it change up and then not even having the conversation, just having it be a behind the back conversation, like those systems, if they were in place, like, I mean, really
Mhm.
what we just thought about was imagine all of the money that they are leaving on the table just because they're missing a couple simple systems.
Mhm. So good. All right, so we got another story. Story number 2 for you. It's another blowout experience. You think simple, right? Actually, wrong. So we walked in, and instead of asking a single question, they took us straight to the shampoo bowl. So no consultation, no what's most important to you today. Just like, here you go. I'm going to hose you down. Let's do it. And I remember by the time that we walked out, because I kept seeing Lindsay's hair out of the corner of my eyes, and then I saw my hair in the mirror. It looked like we or stepped out of like those little like 1987 Tyndall curls. Is that what you called them? Yeah, they were
So
so tight, right? Like little shiny ringlets. Like I'm thinking like Shirley Temple meets her senior prom. Do you remember that, Lindsay?
I do. It was bad, and the thing is, it's such an easy fix, because truly a consultation is not optional. It's a system,
Mhm.
and if your team doesn't have one, they're guessing. And when they guess, they create disappointments because literally they didn't ask either one of us how we wanted our hair styled. They just gave us those Shirley Temple ringlet curls that you were just talking about, Jen. I mean, we could have just avoided so much disappointment.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
so much disappointment. Exactly. Because I feel like guests don't leave because you ask questions, they leave because you didn't. And the best part of those curls, they went towards the face, not away from the face, towards the face. So if you can picture this, it was epic.
I know. I think we might even have a picture somewhere that we
I think so.
occasionally pull out and giggle and love. I think yours both went towards the face, but I had one side that went back and one side that went towards. So just like I used to give myself curls like that back in ninth grade, I think. Oh,
Mm.
but another story. This is, we're at the shampoo bowl again. But this time it was Jen who paid the price because she leans back and they start rinsing. But by the end, she is drenched, like soaked through shirt, could have wrung it out, and like, do you remember that, Jen?
Oh yeah, I felt like I had literally been in a water balloon fight with my 5-year-old or 6-year-old niece. It was wet, very
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah, but here's where it went from bad to worse. They didn't even offer a towel. They didn't apologize. They didn't acknowledge it. They literally just kept going like, this is fine,
Yeah.
you know?
Uh,
And
it's so good. I'm reliving the wet. I can feel the wetness in my shirt right now. It was so wet.
yeah.
Um, Got me thinking, wow, man, so interesting that that things happen. That's not what we're saying here. Like I remember thinking in that moment, hey, things happen. I get it. Like I've soaked somebody's shirt before. My team has soaked somebody's shirt before. But it was the silence, I think, that really just didn't settle well with me.
Yeah, and that truly is the lesson, Jen, because
Mm,
mistakes aren't what drive guests away. It's how you handle them. Salons that are strong have a service recovery system. They know exactly what to do when something goes wrong. Apologize, make it right, go above and beyond. But weak salons, they pretend like it didn't happen. And the guest never forgets that.
Wow. All right. So this one's a great story too. This we'll call the never phone call. You probably remember this one, Lindsay. We called a salon, and just for research, really, you guys, that's really what we're doing is researching to learn. We asked, we said, hey, can we get a color and cut? They're like, sure. And then I said, hey, just so you know, we do have black box dye, and we want to go blonde. And I remember the receptionist on the other hand, and didn't hesitate, didn't listen, didn't ask any questions. And she just says like, hey, you'll never get to that goal. Just like that. It was like, what? There was no curiosity, no options, no encouragement, just like, you'll never get to that goal. And
Yeah,
so it
that
was
was
so interesting. It
yeah.
was.
And really it made us think, like, imagine if you walked into Apple and you said like, "Hey, I would love to get a laptop today," and the employee said, "You'll never afford one." You know? Like, you'd literally walk right out if that happened.
That's a good example. I love that, Lindsay, because words really matter.
Mhm.
I mean, like your team's scripts matter, those systems matter. Even if the guest request is unrealistic, there's a way to redirect it. Something as simple as like, hey, that will take a process. Here's what we can do today. Or, we're looking forward to seeing what's possible for you. Or tell me why this is important to you. Like having those scripts, like that truly is a system. And then again, it goes back to that guest on the other end of the receiving call, feeling heard, feeling seen. But like, what if you just said you'll never get to that goal and that person truly believed that, and then they were never able to get the hair that they desired? Like
Mhm.
it doesn't add any value to their life. And so it's really important to have those systems and those scripts to know how to handle those conversations.
It's so good. That brings us to our last story. Really where we were uh, just trying to see, one of the biggest missed opportunities in our industry is productivity in a salon. And like
Mhm.
the front desk really is the powerhouse behind that. So we called another salon to book an appointment, and the receptionist said, "Sure, we can get you in next week." That was like her initial go-to, and so we asked, "Do you have anything sooner?" And she replied, "Actually, yeah, we've got something tomorrow." And we are like, "Okay, that's the soonest that you have available is tomorrow?" And she said, "Well, actually, we have one later today." And we were like, "Wow." Do you remember, like, it was, like, mind-blowing for us, Jen.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I remember thinking, "Wait, what? What is happening? Is this Earth?" Because, like, I was thinking, why isn't that the first thing that she said? Why didn't she get more curious and ask more questions and then talk about like, "Hey, we do have this opportunity today." I mean, by the time next week come, if I'm a busy professional, I'm gonna have to cancel that appointment. So that could be a huge opportunity to lose that guest.
Exactly, that truly is a missed opportunity. That's a broken scheduling system, because if you have openings, you wanna fill those, so offer
Mhm.
those up front, because every empty chair or table is lost revenue. And without a clear booking system, one that tries to get those opportunities filled the quickest, you're truly leaving money on the table.
Yeah. So good. So here's the
Mhm.
big takeaway, you guys. None of these stories were about bad salons or bad service providers. Like these were talented people, but
Mhm.
talent without systems is chaos. If you think about it, if you don't have those strong systems, guests feel like experiments. They feel forgotten, disappointed, or shut down, just like I did when the co-stylist said, I've never shampooed extensions before. And then what happens is they don't come back because when we're in that area again, that won't be a place that we visit again,
Mhm.
just because of that experience. But, as a salon, when you do have those strong systems in place, the guests do feel cared for. They feel important. They feel loyal. And that's how you build a business that grows year after year.
Yeah. So here's our challenge to you. Really take a hard look at your salon. Where are you relying on luck instead of systems? Where are you hoping for the best instead of training for the best? And if you think, gosh, I don't even know how to get started on this, go ahead and text the word PRO to 469-283-5590. We'd love to send you some more information about Million Dollar Beauty Pro. It's our revolutionary, incredible training system that's plug and play for your salon, that has live and on-demand training, to where, hey, we know you're busy. You might still be behind the chair. Maybe you'd just rather spend your time in a different way, but having your team consistently getting training, man, what it gives to
Mhm.
them, like they even feel better in that moment. Like they're like, I know what to say. I'm not
Mhm.
just, it really is a system to set your team up for the best support and the best life possible so that they can become $1 million beauty pros.
Because I truly think about it, Lindsay, luck doesn't grow your salon. Systems truly will. Do you remember just the other day we heard that more people are likely to make it to the NFL than they are to become a six-figure beauty pro? So if
Yeah.
you want that consistency, trust, and loyalty, I know, let that sit in for a minute. It's really huge. You're like, what, Jen? What did you just say? Yeah, the stat was more people are likely to make it into the NFL, like a pro
Mhm.
team, than they
Mhm.
are to become a six-figure beauty pro. And so that's what Million Dollar Beauty Pro is designed for, is to take your new talent or even your current talent and
Mhm.
help them create a life that people with years of experience in our industry aren't even creating right now.
Yeah. So if you loved today's episode, go ahead and just share it with one of your beauty business owning besties, or maybe that can help create one for you. So, thank you for spending time with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.